My name is Dalton. I'm an occupational therapy student. I'm going to be working with you today. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to have you sort these goldfish. It's going to be a little tasty treat at the end. It's going to be really nice. But I'm going to have you sort these by color. So what I'm going to have you do is you can, whatever way you're comfortable, you can either sort them one at a time, or you're doing so one color. So like you can see there's a little bit of red, a little bit of green in there. You could do all the greens at once. You could do all the reds, whatever you want to start with, or you could just do one at a time where you pick them up however you feel comfortable and just kind of placing them. But there's going to be 6 different colors. And so I'm going to have you just place them in different spots on the napkin, just in their own little pile for each color. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll have you start that whatever way you're most comfortable. Good. Good. Let's actually do this. I'm going to have you start with one of each color and then go from there. Okay, so next I'm going to have you pick up that kind of dark orange. So start kind of scanning, looking for it, and then place it into a pile. And then let's go the red. So try to find one of the reds. Good, that was fast. Then let's go kind of those more brown ones. So those are going to be a little tricky because those are kind of similar color. Yes, those dark brown ones. Good. And then let's see if you can figure out which one. So which color do we need left? So let's look at these. So what color is that one? Yep. Yeah, nice. Good job. Okay, so now I'll have you go from there. Good. Just help you get started a little bit. Good. Good. I know this is really exciting stuff, but it's functional. It's good. Good. Nice. Nice. Making this look easy. You're doing good. Okay, so what we're going to do really quick is I'm going to have you stop for a moment. I'm going to have you look at each one of the piles. So let's start with this one. So do all of these colors look the exact same? They all match? Mm-hmm. Okay. How about these? Mm-hmm. Okay. What about these two right here? Okay. Do these look? Yeah. Okay. Can you show me which one is wrong? Okay. So that one's a different color than those? Okay. So let's try to look around and see. So where that one would go. That's kind of that darker orange. Good. Perfect. Okay, so now let's kind of look again. So all of them look the same on that one right there. Okay, what about these? Right there? There. None? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I appreciate you helping me sorting these. I didn't want to do it all myself.
You look like you need help.
I did. There was a lot of them, and I really didn't want to try to get all of it done myself, so I really do appreciate the help. They've got me working so much. Good. Nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to look again. We're going to look one last time, make sure, because we've got all of them done. So I'm going to have you look at the ones right here. Okay, so I'll have you kind of check that pile, make sure all of those look the exact same. Good. Okay, how about right here? Good. Okay, what about right here? Any of those same? Which one? Did any of those look different?
Yeah, this one does.
This one? Oh, you know what? I think I might actually put that one there. That might have been my fault. I was,
You needed help.
I know. I was trying to help you, and I think I might have got a couple of them wrong. That might have been my fault. Let's check that pile now. See if I got any of those wrong. Because there was a couple piles I messed with. I might have tried. Okay. What about right there? Mm-hmm. Those look good.
Yeah.
Okay. What about right there? I know that might have been one of the piles. I did. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I do appreciate the help though. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay. So I do need the help. So all these piles, they look good. We've checked them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. So next I made this fun little sheet for you. So this is going to tell us how many of these we can eat right now. Okay. So it's going to say how many we can take out of each pile and when we can eat them. Okay. So they're going to be color coordinated. So I'm going to do the first one with you. So we're going to look for that color right there, kind of that darker orange. So let's try to find which pile.
This one.
Right there.
Mhm.
Okay, good. And then we're going to look at that big bold number right there. And so it's going to say how many we need and then when we can do them. So could you read that for me?
Take 2 every morning.
Okay. So good. So I'll have you do them one at a time. Okay. So I'll have you just place them right there. Good. And then how many?
2.
Okay. Good. Okay. So next one. Okay. So what's that next one? Kind of like a more of like a
Red.
kind of like a red. Yeah. Okay. So let's look for that red somewhere on here. Good. And then how many is that?
1.
Okay. Good. Okay. So next one. What would that one kind of look like?
The dark brown ones.
Yeah, I think that is more of a darker brown. As you can tell, my artistic skills are not the best, but you're good. Glad you saw that. And then
take 1.
And then I'm gonna have you try these next one on your own. See how you can do on it. Good. 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 Excellent.
Got these ones.
I think so. Good. Okay. So now what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you go down the line one more time, and I'm gonna have you look in the center pile of all the ones we can have, and I'm gonna have you try to find them and make sure that we have the right amount in that. Okay. So. Okay. So how many of those? So that's that
2.
orange. So we're supposed to have 2. So we've got 2 right there. Good. Okay. So now let's go with those.
1.
I just want to make sure because I only have so many of these, so I don't want to get all of them. You know. Yeah.
Cheap.
I'm cheap. I gotta save my stash. You know. Okay. How about that one right there?
One of those.
That one. Is that kind of that dark brown one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then I'll have you figure out the next one. So, and I'll have you tell me which ones it is and how many there's supposed to be.
3 of the yellow.
Good. Excellent.
2 of the green.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 of the brown ones.
Awesome. Okay.